Hi guys, how you doing? Hope everyone's all right. My name is Kim. I'm the CEO of the PR Genius. We're a growth marketing and PR agency based in London and Dubai. Today, we are starting with the topic of growth strategies to onboard the next billion users. I'm here today with a great panel with Only, Strategy Manager at Flipster, with Raphael, Chief Growth Officer at BitMEX, and finally Franck, Head of Communications at Zeus Network. So before we start, just a quick round intro to everyone and hear more about what they're doing at the moment. So we can start on my left with Only.
Okay, yeah. Hello guys, thanks for coming today. It's a great honor to have you guys together with industry leading partners. My name is Only. I'm a strategy manager of Flipster, and we're an exchange, one of the fast growing exchanges embracing all of the global market. And yeah, today I'm really hope that we can discuss more insight with you guys. Thanks.
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Raphael. I'm from BitMEX, one of the OG exchanges, inventor of the perp in 2016, so I think everybody knows us. I'm based in Hong Kong and I'm responsible, Chief Growth Officer. I'm responsible for the retail sales, retail business, marketing and communication. And yeah, it's awesome to be here.
Hello everyone, my name is Franck and I'm the head of communication at Zeus Network in Gen 3. So this is actually my third year at TBW and first panel. And I'm very excited to introduce more about Bitcoin at Zeus Network in Gen 3. So a little bit about Zeus Network is that we bring Bitcoin liquidity to Solana. And we have just reached a major milestone 2 days ago. We have successfully validated the Bitcoin transaction on Solana for the first time. And the next step, we will bring the real BTC utilization on Solana very soon. And as for Gen 3, we are the co-host of this TBW. And we are hosting the Hackathon Warehouse. And they are doing demo day just now. So please, let's finish your job and we go to see the Hack demo day. Thank you, guys.
Amazing, amazing. Congrats, Frank, for that. In terms of kicking off this panel, what do you guys believe is the biggest barrier at the moment to help onboard the first billion users to blockchain with what you guys are doing at the moment? I think starting off with, you can go, Raphael, if you want.
Sure. Let's think quickly back on when did the internet go big? Blockchain in itself is a technology. So a technology is not sexy and you're not getting 1 billion users with technology. So the question is, what is built on it? That's application. Now, the first steps into making blockchain more interesting was crypto. And why crypto? Because it made you rich. That's the point of it. So it was interesting, it was greed, it was investing into interesting technology projects, which you maybe understood, maybe even didn't understand, but you were trusting people. And this led to wealth accumulation. That's why more people came in. Then we saw new projects. We saw Ethereum coming up. We saw Polkadot coming up. We saw NFTs coming up. I personally don't believe NFTs are now the driver in getting the next billion people. Seriously, nice pictures we send around and we give value for a few cents or a few million. Doesn't matter. That's not the next driver. So the question is, what is the killer application bringing new users in? And the honest answer is, we don't have it yet. Otherwise, we would have 1 billion users. Nobody was talking about the internet, making the internet big. It was Amazon coming in and having suddenly e-commerce everywhere. Now we have Taobao, now we have chat programs which are connecting us worldwide. That was the drive of the technology. So going back to my first statement, finding the killer application.
That makes sense. You mentioned one key point there about NFTs, which obviously in the life cycle brought a lot of retail users in general. In this cycle at the moment, meme coins have really captured the mainstream attention. Woo. Do you guys think virality can be leveraged to onboard users, especially coming from, you guys at Zeus and also, exchanges like Flipster and BitMEX as well?
Okay, yeah, I think to onboard billions of users, if we can leverage recent meme coin bull market, yeah, that's possible. But sometimes we need to care about these meme coin seasons because a lot of people just focusing on the trading on meme coins, but they never want to understand what is the blockchain or what is the future of the crypto. So people just keep trading on meme coin and try to earn, but it's kind of gambling. So from the builder perspective, sometimes people can feel a bit different because all of the good products, they start building their projects like 3 or 4 years ago, even 5 years ago. But the meme coin just made today and launch it tomorrow, and it ends like within 3 days. So this kind of movement or activities can really hurt some real growth in the market. But at the same time, if the good product try to catch this kind of meme coins user to provide more valuable meaning of blockchains or the opportunity of what we can do, then definitely we can like convert those users to the large number of the like mass adoption or something like that. So
Yeah, I think I want to echo about the application, killer application. So I joined this Web3 ecosystem like 2 years ago. I was a marketer, and it's just so much barrier in Web2. Right, you want to collaborate with some companies, you have to go through so many process. You might fail. Like for example, if you want to collaborate Coca-Cola with Pepsi, that's impossible, right? It's just impossible. But in Web3, it's very easy. Okay, so you are the co-founders, you make a call, and you just simply integrate it, and boom, tomorrow you are working together, right? I think it's efficient, and the open data, the beauty of open data, and that can make the world more efficient, more even better. Yeah. And as for the meme coin part, okay, so who here now, before you sleep, you scroll on Instagram? Who? Come on, admit. Yes. Same here. Right. But since meme coin, I'm from Solana, by the way. Since meme coin was booming on Solana, I don't scroll Instagram anymore. I scroll on Pump.fun, if you know. Pump.fun, that screener, I just find the cutest animal token to buy, and just hoping I wake up and it's pumping. But that's not the reality here. Yeah. But what I was trying to say is that we want to build the community. We want to onboard the next billion users. We need attention, right? At the end of the day, it's the attention that gets people around here. But what I see in Web3 blockchain right now is that most the applications still lying on the DeFi or like the financial applications, which is only the small groups of people who is capable or who is willing to spend time to deposit and do that, staking, etc. So I think moving forward, we really need to have some. We don't need killer apps, but just we need someone that can really be used. Like something can really be used by real people, not just airdrop hunters, not like gold diggers, not miners, but like real, something real. Yeah, I think
makes sense. I mean, from that point, then, how does all three of your organizations attract non-technical users? Because there's some big barrier right now. That's why, at the end of the day, meme coins make sense to people, because it's not technical. It's pretty easy to understand. And this is why Pump.fun is literally pumping $5 million a day profit. So from your perspective, how do you guys attract non-technical users?
I think we are trying to track or make it more accessible from non-tech user to tech industry. As exchange, what we can do is just try to change the perception of crypto or like exchange, because so far, still most of the user in all of the world, they think sometimes crypto is somewhat scam, but the first option or first channel they can meet when they try to onboard some crypto industry, they can use exchange. So if they learn or experience it in trading on exchange at the first time with a good information and proper strategy, how to trade on crypto and how can earn money more secretly, then it makes more for people to believe or understand what we are doing or what the trades are in crypto. So that kind of way can definitely helpful for the new user to understand more techy or complicating crypto stuff.
Yeah, I mean, just quickly chipping in as an exchange as well. I think exchanges are still the #1 place to onboard people quickly. It takes like 2 to 5 minutes. You have an account, you start trading, you load real money into your system, you start buying meme coins or whatever. And that is the first step coming into blockchain in itself. Later on, if you're really like a unexperienced person and you don't know a lot about blockchain, later on you realize, oh wait, there's actually blockchain address behind it. There are private keys. What actually is that? There are public keys. What is an airdrop? Oh, I didn't know there are tokens existing that are not like Bitcoin, ETC, and Ethereum and whatsoever. So you're slowly, by trying to make money and invest and having that really smooth 2 or 5 minutes onboarding process, no matter which exchange you use, you're actually coming into blockchain. And then you start going into, oh, maybe I have to have a closer look at new projects and what's happening in my community, and maybe I even know founders, so it becomes more interesting.
Yeah, I think like centralized exchanges, they are really, I think so far the best gateway for normal people, for retail users to access blockchain technology and crypto. So actually from our side, we are building the infrastructure that we just mentioned, the Bitcoin to Solana thing. It's actually an infrastructure. So why we're building this is that we got to think about in the past, like 15 years ago, Bitcoin was born. It was actually meant for payment, right? The original purpose was for payment. So, but Bitcoin is being developing for 15 years, and now is actually we have many applications. We have layer 2s, we have ordinals, we have runes, many things going on. But there's still not much users, right? Not many users doing that. So again, Solana, we think Solana is the closest to mass adoption from our perspective, because we have been building on Solana for 3 years, even during the FTX thing, we're still building on Solana. And I think the impact we want to bring is that we bring Bitcoin to Solana to have a better usage, that anybody is, that can be accessible for anybody to use, and with a very fast trading speed, very cheap fees that can be accessible. Yeah. So yeah, I know that Plan B, they are doing some experiment of the Bitcoin payment in Lugano, Switzerland. I think I can really see that future where Solana can do Bitcoin payment everywhere in the world.
Yeah, it makes sense. Actually, I was in New York recently, and Solana had a shop there where people could go in and literally learn about Solana, earn Solana in the center of New York. So that was pretty nuts to see. So adoption right there as well. Talking about America, obviously we saw the bull run exploding right after the US elections, right after Trump coming into office. So what impact do you guys think that Trump and the US will now have on the whole entire space being pro-crypto?
That highly depends what he actually does when he is president. I mean, right now, the whole, not the whole bull market, but the peak of the bull market was built on the realization that he's becoming the next president. As soon as his chances were growing, crypto started rallying and went from 60 to 70 to 80 and now to 100, 1 or 2 this morning. So, I mean, right now it's all built on the hope that the US system is actually changing. I mean, we had a quick discussion in the speaker box. Think about the biggest crypto communities around the world, and I don't want to bring regulatory uncertainty into it, but most of the markets are gray at best when it comes to regulatory around crypto, because it's not yet decided, do we really want it from a governmental perspective as a challenger of fiat money? So we have the US, we have the Chinese market, we have the Korean market, European Union, one of the few markets where it's actually going in a regulatory clear perspective direction. do we really believe it will change in the US and in which time frame? If he does everything he says, then 100K was just the beginning.
I do believe that.
Yes,
Yeah.
I personally, so we at BitMEX and Arthur Hayes clearly said from 10K to 100K, and our next expectation is 1 million. Do we see that tomorrow? No. Will Bitcoin reach 1 million? 100%.
Yeah, that's great to hear that. And also, actually, from the recent election of U.S., it's quite interesting for us as well. And we don't know what it happens next year, but definitely we understand this market is growing, and a lot of people started understanding and try to learn about crypto, because U.S. all people know that it's one of the biggest market in regard to crypto or any kind of economic things. So people will follow what they're doing, but definitely he mentioned that it will be one way we can leverage for the economical way, or some new features we can try for the next year or within near futures. And also, it means that all the kind of traditional industry can jump into the crypto industry. It means that for the retail user can understand or can give more like trust or credibility for whenever they try to use this new technology, from now on.
Yeah. Are we talking about Trump?
We're still talking about Trump. We're talking about politics in general as well. I mean, I think there's also something about, Putin with Russia saying that, like, no one can stop crypto because who can do it? No one. It's on the internet.
Yeah, that's interesting. I think as for Trump, I'm going to put a big question mark on my hair right now, because we know Trump, he's like, he said that Bitcoin is useless 5 years ago, and now he's pro-Bitcoin. Like, we don't know what's the purpose behind this, right? We cannot guess, but that gets him. Maybe that helps him win the election, right? So I want to echo Raphael. We will know until he's actually delivering something, right? Yeah. But something will not change is that Bitcoin will stay as Bitcoin. Like, nobody owns it. No government owns it. There's no permission by owning Bitcoin. Yeah. And for Zeus Network, that's what we want to do also. We want because actually there's several exchanges like Coinbase, like Kraken. They're actually moving their Bitcoin on Solana. That's a trend. It's happened maybe in a few months. And we are actually doing the same thing. But what's the difference is between us and the Kraken Coinbase is that our BTC liquidity on Solana is permissionless. They don't require KYC, right? So if you go on the token scanner on any Solana token scanner applications, you can check CBBTC, which is Coinbase BTC. You will see the warning of this asset is freezable, right? That's really scary for the Bitcoin holders, right? Because Bitcoin was born decentralized. Not for anyone can control, not anyone can freeze your asset. That's not the point, right? So on Zeus Network, we're trying to bring this on Solana without KYC, no permission, right? That's why we're trying to achieve Bitcoin stay as a Bitcoin, but more efficient on Solana. Yes.
That's good to know as well. I mean, in terms of adopting users, a lot of it's down to education, I do believe as well. Educating those key concepts you just mentioned right there, Frank. On top of that, what we've seen recently is a lot of some of the big exchanges pushing education by, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but pushing a lot of ads, especially people like Binance on, educating their crowd about how to use crypto, because it's the best way of getting into it. How are you guys educating your users? Are you guys using a similar approach? How are you guys doing that specifically?
I think exchanges like Binance, like BitMEX, like Flipster, they are doing a good job educating people. Because as mentioned, I think C6 is the most easier way to reach retails. And without this learning process, like they will never learn. They won't go through the Bitcoin like white paper, right? They just don't have time. Yeah. So I think they're doing a good job to educate people, and that's fit for the off-chain side. We need that, right? For the on-chain side, I think for Zeus network, we launched our token like on April 4th this year. Before that, we've been through a community fauna process. So we did some learning experience, like we use ZD, if you know, ZD Galaxy, this kind of platform. So people just go on there and they learn, they do the FAQ, not the FAQ, but like quiz. They do the quiz, so you feed them something, and they answer the questions, and they learn, and they get rewarded as a points, and the points we redeem into token to them, right? So we gave out 3% total supply of Zeus token. That's like everyone was getting like 100,000. Yeah, and that's pretty remarkable in several countries. Like we have a big community in Vietnam, in Nigeria. Imagine that kind of reward. That put them like higher than the average of income. Yeah, so I think it's educational, it's necessary, and like they should learn about like Bitcoin, like the blockchain, like crypto is changing all the finance, right? You can just earn your monthly, even yearly income by engaging with some projects, and you learn something, you gain something, and you give back something. Yeah. So now we have someone from the airdrop, now is working for Zeus as a working group. Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
Very smart way of doing that. How about you guys at exchanges? How are you guys looking to educate your customers? I mean, especially at BitMEX, for example. You guys are the leader in crypto derivatives. Not a simple term, guys, but the leader. So how are you educating people on like that, crypto derivatives in general?
I think the beginnings were, you started very simple. You had a blog and you were describing what is a swap, how does it work, what is the future, how does it work, how do you go long, how do you go short, what's leverage, what's your collateral. So you are starting very simple terms. And if you look at central exchanges right now, it's pretty much still the same. We are, like the first step of most users is you go in and you exchange fiat money for crypto. And you do some wins, so you do some losses, and at some point you realize, well, I want more. So it's about how do you transition your traders, your retail users, from a more simplistic base to actually be more financial experts for themselves. Because, as you said, it is about trading, it's about getting a new income. So you sometimes have to up your leverage or you go into more risky positions. Not everybody or most people at these days don't read a blog anymore. So now it's more about video content. It's about short explanations. And I think one of the main strategies of nearly all the exchanges is trusting your communities more, trusting your affiliates and KOLs more. You are outsourcing parts of the education to trusted persons because they know their community better. And you also have to think about how do you do it in different regions. Every region is different. Some markets are very data-driven. Some markets are more like, I see somebody famous doing trading. I want to do the same as him or her, and so I'm following what he or she is doing. So you have to adapt to the markets as well.
How about you guys at Flipster? Because, again, complex financial products. Are you doing a similar thing to...
Oh, yeah. Basically, we're also trying to follow the industry leaders, such as BitMEX or Binance, what they're doing. Like we're also operating some blogs and try to make some content. Yeah, how can start trading on crypto or what is leverage? Yeah, starting from real basic one, and also we are really encouraging the people to like real trade on like exchange. Actually, experience is the best way to understand or learn something. So we're doing that stuff. And recently, as Frank mentioned, there are a lot of good platforms we can leverage, such as Galaxy or Zilly. People can do some tasks, and the proof of their task, they can get some reward. It means that if I try to learn something, educate something, I can get reward as well. That it means that we can encourage or boost some of the flow of people's understanding about exchange or crypto, how to do in this new market. So yeah, that's what we are doing at the moment.
The topic of quests, especially of like ZD, Galaxy, Layer 3, is one of the biggest strategies in crypto to adopt new users. Are you guys not afraid of airdrop hunters coming into these quests and just trying to get as much tokens as possible, not really caring about what it is and using ChatGPT to complete the quests?
Yeah, about that. We cannot stop them, right? We cannot stop them. So what we did here is that we try to, we open the funnel, like real big in the beginning, and we slowly closing it down, right? We put something more difficult for them to complete, and we put like something requires gas fee. And then Galaxy now, they have something, you need to mint an NFT or something, DID, that costs 5 USDC. So if you want to do that as an airdrop hunter, okay. But like that can stop I think 50% of the airdrop hunter, yeah.
Talking about that, most of them do come from emerging markets. So for all three of you, what are some of the current emerging markets that you're tackling, and how are you tackling those markets?
I think for all of us, pretty much the same. So it's Latin America, it's some of the newer Asian countries, Africa, if you're going into them, and tackling those markets is, at least from our side, try to find trustworthy partner who are already on the ground. Because you're going in a new market, it's a different mentality, it's a different community, it's a different mindset of trading, investing, or just a reasoning why going in the market. Maybe even just airdrop hunting, because $5 is actually a lot of money in those markets, so why not? So it's kind of a direct investing into some markets. And if you have those partners, leverage them, listen to them, find out what's the reasoning for crypto in that market, and find and build on that. And that is actually, if we look at our main topic, growth strategies for the next 1 billion users, I mean, most of the users in crypto are still from developing markets. And let's be realistic, it's play money at the moment. And I don't mean that BTC doesn't have value, but it's more play money in a sense that people are using it to additionally invest next to their shares, ETF, gold, whatever they have. They're also putting a fraction of their money into crypto. If you think about where is crypto in 10 years or in 20 years, the numbers are like a complete different game. That's why I'm in the beginning saying it's going from 100K to 1 million. That's just 10x. That's nothing if you look at the market deviations right now between shares, bonds, and crypto.
I also agree. Even if it's emerging market, actually for the general growth perspective, yeah, we're really happy to have them, because making a buzz or making a lot of awareness means that we can grow, or we can make it like improvement for the product-wise or user-wise. And even if like emerging market or like high-value market, if you can try to onboard new people, we start like building up some awareness from the top of the funnel. So this kind of ways also can help some growth. But what we need to do is that, like as Frank mentioned, we can try to like segment or try to set some hurdles. If you want to target some specific like user who are trading on DeFi or who are trading on NFT or something like that, then we can segment some of the user we want to onboard. And at the same time, by like onboarding both like emerging market or high value market, we can like get some different advantages. I think from emerging market, they're more open to crypto, because some of the countries already adopted the crypto as their payment service. So people can easily they cannot use their traditional bank as usual. So sometimes it really helps for us to onboard them and understand what it is. And for the high individual market, we can also target some real like large the good quality of user, and they are a bit conservative. But once we successfully convert it to them real user, they have real loyalty and they are really willing to do more things in this market. So,
Sorry, what's the emerging market?
So like emerging markets, for example, like Africa, South America, those countries. Are you targeting those countries at the moment?
Yeah. Okay. So, as for these countries, we have working groups from there, like Africa. There are many people from there. So, on Solana, actually, we have this Jambo phone. Jambo, Jambo, is 99 for a phone, and they use the blockchain technology on that. And as far as I know, that this phone is selling very big in Africa, right? I think that's the most accessible gateway for them to reach out crypto. And as for other countries, we gotta understand what's their way to have behavior, what's their behaviors, right? So, like as in Japan, like people put their money in banks. They don't really use on-chain stuff. They're really preserved on this kind of financial utilizations. And in Korea, there's a lot of traders, yeah. But I think they are mostly on these centralized exchanges also, and they don't use Twitter. They use Telegram. So we need a different approach to this kind of people, yeah. So I think in the end of the day, we are targeting people. So they have different cultures from different countries. We gotta understand how they think, how they behave, to reach out to them. Yeah. So I think having this localized agency, localized partners that can really help you get into this market.
That makes complete sense. Well, in terms of us, when we look at acquiring more users, we look at the marketing funnel from 3 angles: from the awareness, the consideration, and conversion phase. And what we usually do is, the way we look at emerging markets, any sort of market in general, is from the awareness phase, we look at where do people hear crypto first. And usually it's by either one of their friends talking about it, one of their friends who made a lot of money talking about it in general, or they hear it in these specific Telegram groups that get invited to. On the back of that, once they found a project or an exchange or something they want to get used to, start trading on, or buying the token or anything like that, they go on YouTube, where they type as many times the specific name of the ticker or the project to find videos about them, to learn more about them. And finally, once they've had the intuition going like, okay, now I've heard about it, now I've watched YouTube videos about it, I feel that I'm going to buy this token because I'm going to trade on this platform because so many people are talking about it, then the platform gives an incentive to push through. The whole entire marketing funnel that we've seen, specifically, what we do is we evaluate at each point, we note it out of 5 how effective these KOLs are, these YouTube channels are, and so on, and build a whole funneling strategy around that. Now, implementing that has enabled us to help our clients acquire a lot of users, pump up token prices, and so on as well. Now, what are some of the advice that you guys can also give to the audience in the next year, in 2025, how to acquire your users? Are you guys doing a similar thing as well to evaluate that funnel? Tell us more about that.
I mean, in short, yes, of course. If you're not looking at your funnel, you're doing everything wrong. I don't think there's much to add to that. Seriously.
Is there right now with BitMEX in general, are you guys capitalizing on a specific channel more than other channels? What are you seeing in the next year that's booming? Is YouTube more effective at the moment than speaking to specific KOLs? What have you seen?
The most effective marketing tool, I say, is still either you have a great brand, which we luckily do, or you go via the communities. And both of those aspects are the driving forces. Yes, you kind of, we all use, of course, YouTube and Telegram and whatever is available, but I think KOLs and affiliates is still the market. But you're also locked in because, as we all know from the exchanges, those community wander around. You have the same problem which you have on airdrops, people misusing it, creating mercenaries more or less. So maybe that's why we're a little bit stuck in the middle, all of us, and don't have 1 billion users yet.
Yeah, let me add one short opinion on that. So I agree. So maybe depending on what types of strategy you are using or depending on what types of campaign you want to try, yeah, sometimes YouTube will be working well and sometimes KOLs related working will be really working well. So we can, yeah, we have some plans to use depending on what strategy or what is your goal for the next step. So we also really expect that maybe next year we're going to have more user or all of the crypto market will be increased a lot. So all of the user needs to care about that before they do something or before they do something risky, it would be better to understand first or would be better to be educated from some industry leaders, what they're saying or something like that. So,
Awesome, great. Well, thank you so much today, guys, for the panel. It was great speaking to you guys, and have a great event, guys.
Thank you.
So thank you, Kim, for leading the discussion, and also thank you once again to our amazing speakers, panelists. Thank you so much. Let's give it another round of applause.